Hey everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome. This session will be held in English. If you want to listen to it in German, you can click on the Dolmetsch-Knopf and you will hear Dorothea. And Liliana will translate into Spanish. Thank you, Liliana. And Sevi into Greek. Thank you, Sevi. So, she loves you. You should be glad. You know you should be glad. There is someone who loves you. And I want to tie in this session, this warm-up session, a little bit into what seems like a progress, or what seems like how this festival is coming about. And I want to share a little bit from my personal story. I always find it challenging to share my personal story because I tend to go more into the abstract. So the personal story is a bit difficult for me. This festival will be the 5th festival, and it usually starts like this, that I have the feeling it would be good if the festival does not take place because it is so much work. And when I look at the festival as a lot of work, I am absolutely uninspired to do anything about it. But as the festival idea is coming more and more into my mind, either someone asks me, hey, is there another festival happening next year? Then I usually say, I don't know yet. But most of the time, there is a little willingness in me that says, well, if it's supposed to happen, I'm available. And then it begins, and it begins usually with the title for the festival. And this festival here, the festival that we are celebrating here, is Love at First Sight. And everything starts to unfold from there. And as you can imagine, and as you experience your own undoing, your own awakening, you probably know that there's always a period of undoing and of purification. And in these moments, it looks as if you're totally alone, right? It feels like there's only you and there's a conflict in your mind and you don't know how to solve it. Every time you try to solve it in the world, it does not work, or it becomes heavier and heavier and heavier. And so it is with me. If I try to organize the festival and to make the festival right and to make it go right, then the conflict in my mind becomes heavier and heavier and heavier. So sooner or later, I have to ask myself the question, what is it for? What is the festival for? Is the festival there just so that a festival can happen? Or what is the festival about? What is your day about? What is this moment about? And we look within and say, actually, it needs to be about a miracle. It needs to be about peace, about present peace in my mind. So we're getting the priorities straight. And we're remembering what we're here for. I'm not here to put together a festival. I'm not here to survive or whatever you call your projects, but you're here to release the world from all you thought it was. So with this undoing and this willingness to shine your light, the willingness to release the world from everything you thought it was, everything rearranges. And when you are in that process of purification, it looks as if the world is falling apart and you cannot control it anymore. You cannot really maintain the world and you cannot maintain your life as you know it. So you are okay to let your world collapse, because the most important thing is not to have everything in place in the world and remain the conflict in your mind, but the most important thing is to have your conflict in your mind resolved. And this is why we are meeting here, because this is where we need the brother. This is where we need our mighty companions. This is where we need the present remembrance of the Holy Spirit, and that you are the light of the world, that you are the Holy Son of God. So since this is the first thing that we forget, and this is what we forget in order to live in a world that we constructed, it needs a constant reminder. It needs the Holy Spirit to call you and to remind you, hey, this is not really about a festival. This is not really about any of your projects. This is about your real desire to remember who you are and to wake up from a dream of separation. Okay, so as soon as we remember that, as soon as we allow this thought in our mind, I am the Holy Son of God Himself. You are the Holy Son of God Himself. Everything can rearrange in your mind. Everything can change because you know that you are on safe ground. You know that your foundation is rock solid. This is what Corinne taught in her warm-up session a few days ago. And this is not a theoretical information for some other time. This is the information for now. And if you allow that thought that you are the Holy Son of God Himself, and you can open up to the energy of that, the energy of communication, of the Holy Spirit, of your true, divine, holy self, be reminded that there is nothing to fear. There is nothing to fear. If there is anything that you try to save in the world, or about the image that you believe you have, this will be a very fearful thought, because the truth will undo every image and every illusion. So this is why we say, I need help in this. And this is why the Holy Spirit shows you that all the help is presently always available. Whatever you might need, whatever form you can accept as help is currently available. So now it is this form. It's the form of a festival warm-up. It is the form of a festival. But again, what is this form for? What is the purpose? It's not about the form. It is about what this form facilitates, what this form is able to communicate to you. It is a symbol that you can understand. It is a symbol that you can relate to. Okay, it's a festival. Okay, there are other people who are also doing the course. You can relate. You can say, okay, I feel safe. Okay, they speak the same language. And they seem to be not too crazy, so maybe I can trust in this. And so you open up to the thought that is being communicated. I am the Holy Son of God Himself. So how did we start the session? She loves you, so you know you should be glad. So you are loved, and when you are loved, and you can be certain of that love, you also know that you can give everything away because you are loved. Does that make sense? Okay, the translation takes a moment. Or maybe I lost all of you already.
Oh.
So, when you are loved, and it's a love that no matter what happens will stay with you. It's the love of the Father. It's the love of however you relate to that, however you identify that in form. It can always change form. It can always let go of, because it will just intensify. It will just extend. It will just come back in a form that is even more acceptable to you. So she loves you, God, she, the Holy Spirit. In Hebrew, in the Hebrew language, the Holy Spirit is feminine. So God is female, the Holy Spirit is female, or male if you like. She loves you, and you become a totally new understanding of generosity, a totally new understanding of I can give everything away, but in a completely new way. Not in a sense, okay, I give all my money away, I give all my possessions away, I give away everything I have, but in a completely new sense, that giving away means that your mind is open and that you can hold your brother's hand no matter what circumstances may arise, no matter what circumstances you may find yourself in. And I want to read something to you from the Manual for Teachers, from the characteristics of the teachers of God, and that's generosity. And I would like to read the second paragraph, den zweiten Absatz daraus. And it says here, you are good, Dorothea? Yep, okay, good. Sebi? Thank you. And Liliana anyway. Thank you. Good, thanks. The teacher of God is generous out of self-interest. So, and self in capital letter. So you are generous because you want to stabilize your awareness of your true self. If you try to be generous out of the self that you believe you are, that you believe you made, you will always experience lack and limitation. And this is what let all of us know. It's a so well-known experience to experience ourselves as limited, as lacking, as changeable and bad and guilty. So the motivation to experience your true self and to stabilize your alignment with your true self gets intensified. Okay, second sentence in the second paragraph. This does not refer, however, to the self of which the world speaks. The teacher of God does not want anything he cannot give away, because he realizes it would be valueless to him by definition. What would he want it for? He could only lose because of it. Yeah? So if you value something that you cannot share universally in this present moment with everyone and everything, you can only lose. God's thoughts, God's present thought is shared with everyone now. And this is what you are. This is what you've been given. This is your identity. I'm the Holy Son of God Himself. You are the Holy Son of God Himself. This is what you want to share, a universal thought. It's not a preaching. It's not a teaching. It's not even to convince anyone of anything, but it is allowing yourself to be generously free in your mind now, to let go of all the chains that you have accepted in darkness, and to give generously now what you always are and have been and will be. Okay, I continue in the paragraph. He could not gain. Therefore, he does not seek what only he could keep, because that is a guarantee of loss. He does not want to suffer. Why should he ensure himself pain? But he does not want to keep for himself all things that are of God, and therefore for his Son. These are the things that belong to him. These he can give away in true generosity, protecting them forever for himself. So, since we have a fantastic opportunity, which we call the present moment, and since we have a fantastic opportunity to give the gifts of God now, I encourage myself to do just that. I encourage you to do that. If you experience yourself as separate or as an individual that is different from others, choose again. Choose again to say, I will join with my brother now as the Holy Son of God Himself. It's a choice. You don't have to understand. You don't have to see what that means. You don't have to know how this works. But you make a simple decision. Okay, I'm not going to hold myself back. I'm not going to do this now. I know what it feels like to hold myself back. And I have had enough of it. Does that sound familiar? Yeah. You know what it's like to hold yourself back. It's boring. And not even boring. You're actually dying when you hold yourself back. So there's another motivation within you, and it's deeper than any worldly desire or any worldly wish could communicate to you. There's a desire that says, yes, I want to completely give myself away in this moment. I want to love you. I want to see, experience, feel, understand, communicate that there is only love, that I am only love. How long why should I wait for this? Why should you wait for this? Is God checking your credentials first? Is he looking up your record with the Course in Miracles and say, oh, that's only, she hasn't done the lesson today. Okay, no love for her today. No love for her. Okay, maybe we try again tomorrow with this guy. God doesn't think that way. So, as a loving father, his will would be that you always know that you are loved and that you are love, just as he is. If you love someone, you want to make sure that this someone knows that he or she is loved. Is that true? Yeah, you want to make it very clear. Thank you. So God, we are ready now. Show us what you want us to see, what you want us to experience. Show us our true identity. And we prepared a little song to facilitate this remembrance. And whenever you're ready, Simone, we can start that song. Teach yourself only that, and you don't have to wait any second longer. So we're just remembering that we never left heaven. Yay! Okay, tell me more. This is it. We never left heaven. Thank you so much, everyone. So we're gonna meet in this instant, and you're very welcome and invited from all our hearts to join the Miracle Festival, your ACIM Festival, ACIM Festival, from the 20th to the 24th of May. Yes, it is form, absolutely, but the form is dedicated to your present remembrance of who you truly are. And thank God it is already accomplished. So have a wonderful night, everyone. And maybe we can unmute all the microphones. Thank you. God bless us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So much.
Beautiful.
You must have helped me.
So,
We love you, yeah.